Right there in front of me is a green Trackhawk. That's what I think it is. I gotta get closer, but it does have the dual tailpipe design, so I think that, yep, that's a Trackhawk right there. I haven't seen it in that color before. Yeah. Interesting color. It looks like he's got some side skirt damage. It's like somebody hit him in the side or something. It's like you gotta be so careful with these cars because somebody could hit you and shit. And then you could hear the gurgling, that gurgle sound. But you know, I just think what kills me about the Trackhawk is that they released it at the very, very end of the WK2 production, which, you know, I guess that was for R&D purposes and everything. But I really think they did a better job with the Durango Hellcat than they did with the Trackhawk. This should have been called Jeep Trackhawk. They shouldn't have called it Jeep Trackhawk. They should have called it Jeep Hellcat. Put the Hellcat hood on this fucking thing. You know, it's like, what were they thinking? I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever. You know, now the WK2s are obsolete and gone. It's too bad. Tell you something. See this right here? We're gonna go invest this in Mangoat. Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Google, so forth and so on. And possibly even Berkshire, a little bit of Berkshire Hathaway. Let me just tell you something. When you see me on that business class flight, and I'm on my way to Bora Bora, or I'm on my way to, Bali, don't ask me how I got there, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, watch my videos, and then you'll find out how I got there. That's all. So basically, as I explained, Charles Schwab is taking over TD Ameritrade. So I've got like 4 days or something, and I've got to close my TD Ameritrade account. And it's automatic, but they're going to transfer everything over to Charles Schwab, right? And the thing about it is, I had to, you know, go basically make a run on the bank. And these people like, wait a minute, who is this dude? Why is he taking out such large amounts of money? It's like, and then they ask you a bunch of security questions and this, that, and other. But the bottom line is, it's like, if you're not happy with bank service or you don't think you're getting enough interest rate out of them, don't be afraid to change where you put your money. I mean, I just showed y'all how I opened up that Apple savings account, and the Apple savings account is paying 4.15% interest. Most of these banks are not paying 4.15% interest, right? And that's because they're actual banks, so they have like a lot of overhead, and they can't afford to pay that kind of interest. But that don't stop me. It's like, if they're not paying you what you feel like you're getting, what you should be getting paid, you just go to a different, you just take that money and you either invest it in something or put it in another bank. So if you're to tell, oh shit, this goddamn stupid fucking Toyota, I'm gonna let you go this time, jerk off. These stupid Toyotas up there trying to speed around just because your paint is peeling and you don't have anything to lose, and you're putting my SRT in danger. This guy's a beat up ass Toyota Camry. Car is all fucked up. It's got paint peeling. It's got dents and shit. This guy nearly hit me and everything. You get me in an accident, buddy, I'll get you. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So all I'm saying is, you have two choices. You either take your money and you invest it, and for me, it's dividend-paying stock. I just made a video, I think it was like last night, about investing in AI. Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon. And the thing about it is, most of these companies that you might invest in, the rate of return is ridiculously high. Like, I've tried to post in my community chat, like a lot of times when I get dividend payments, I try to post it so you see it. And it's funny because the Sunoco shares that I hold, not only did they appreciate in value by like $20 per share, but on top of that, the dividend that I get back is almost 1-to-1 because they're paying like a 7.67% interest, right? But it's like for every single share that I have, it's amazing because the last payment that I got from Sunoco and Sunoco pays more than once a year. Like I think they pay every single season or something, like every single 4 seasons out of the year. But I gotta say, dividend paying stock, with the interest rates having gone up the way they've gone up, like my dividend paying stock is actually paying me a better rate of return than the banks are for interest. It just is. So right now I feel comfortable. Look at all this goddamn traffic. Right now I feel comfortable investing in stock, in dividend paying stock. And you're seeing the market going up. Like I told y'all before the stock splits, I told you to buy NVIDIA. I told you to buy Google. I told you to buy Amazon. I told you to buy Tesla. Now, I know there's a lot of people who would give me shit over Google, Amazon, and Tesla. Once again, I've said it 100 times. I had no idea Russia was going to go to war with Ukraine. You know, that's not my fault. I had no idea that was going to happen, and I had no idea America was going to put sanctions on Russia, and I had no idea they're going to try to cut China out too. But the bottom line is Amazon and Google are recouping their losses right now. And I think once they get Joe Biden out of office and put a Republican in, I think that should be a good signal for the stock market. But the bottom line is, if interest rates remain where they are, or if interest rates continue to rise, that will continue to cause problems in the stock market, simply because you have fewer people shopping and spending money in certain sectors. So that's just how I see it. Right now is an excellent time to buy airlines if you want them. Airlines really are not profitable in most cases, and they haven't been profitable like in forever. They don't pay dividends on average. So really, it's like if you buy airlines, the smartest thing you could do is short the stock as soon as you get the chance. But that's just how I feel about it. Because the reality is they haven't been profitable. And shorting airline stock, like for instance, you buy JetBlue at 7, wait till it hits like 20 and then sell it. Or if you buy Delta, like this is, one of the first videos I made during the pandemic was to buy the airlines as soon as they plummeted. The airlines and oil stock, and bank. It was oil, bank, airlines, and lithium mining, because I was like, yeah, EVs are going to be the next big thing. And as you can see, EVs are the next big thing. Not necessarily because you want EVs, but because you have no choice and the government's forcing you into EVs. So you basically have to pay attention to the law, because if the government's forcing you into a certain direction, you ain't got no choice. Like everybody can say, oh yeah, well, I love my gas-powered car. But guess what? The government's forcing you into an EV. So you ain't got a choice. And it's just that simple. If you ain't got a choice and the government's forcing you in a certain direction, or the automotive companies are forcing you into a certain direction, you ain't got no choice. So that means very soon you're going to have an electric car. You're not going to have this boring Ford ST, this slow-ass Explorer. You're not going to have that with that fake quad exhaust because they're trying to look like it's a Trackhawk. It's like it's boring and it's slow. I will say this, it's spacious. It's spacious. I hope the guy can't hear me because the window's down. But anyway, yeah, they are spacious. I'll give them that. But they're boring and slow. And me personally, I think they're ugly. I'm sorry. Now, I know there's a lot of people who would disagree with me, and everybody's got an opinion. But the bottom line is the thing's ugly, and it looks like a box. Looks like a cop car box. Like if you go get donuts, it's boring. And I would never buy one. It's just that simple. And I know a lot of people love them. Like they buy them, they love them, but I wouldn't. I'd buy a Lincoln, like the new Lincoln Nautilus. I like that. But that's slow and boring and everything. So it is what it is. But that's all I was trying to say. I am thinking about a trip to Bali. Bora Bora is still on. I'm just waiting for things to open up because getting flight scheduling to Bora Bora is horrible. Especially for me because I didn't take the jab. So the bottom line is flight scheduling is a little bit troublesome right now. Bali is a little bit easier. Asiana or Singapore Airlines, I could probably do either one of those or whatever. But I don't know what the next vacation is going to be, but I'm going to wait until I buy my Cadillac. And after I get my Cadillac, I'm definitely going on vacation, and it's definitely going to be business class, and I'm definitely going to make video on the whole business class experience. You know how it is. And that's just that, First of all, I'm never flying economy again. I am so disgusted with, flying domestic airlines in America. I will never, ever, you'll never see me on economy, ever. And that's just it, because I'll tell you, economy is filled with mental illness at this point. You got people fighting each other. You got people like just fighting the stewardesses. It's disgusting. I'm very disgusted. I'm very dismayed. So never do an economy ever again, ever. So that's just that. It's business class all the way, 100% business class. So the passport bros, business class. That's what it is. We're not passport bros economy class. That's somebody else, not me. So it is what it is. But I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at the stock market and tell you what I think. It is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna make this very, very quick. It is 10:58. It is May 25th. It is 10:58 p.m. So as I made a video yesterday, and it only got like 400 views because YouTube does not support people who actually make worthwhile videos unless you're paying them money to support to promote yourself. Unless you're like Ty Lopez and you're flashing Lamborghinis that may be rented or not, we don't know. Unless you're talking about Bitcoin and you're paying them big money to support like FTX and it's all scams and shit. YouTube doesn't support little crypto guys. YouTube doesn't support little stock guys. YouTube doesn't support the little people who are giving you information. And that's the reason why I don't really like even bothering to do these videos. But when I'm right, I'm right. And I like pushing the fact that I told you, what was it? I think it was almost 2 years ago. I told you, it might have been 1 year ago. I don't remember now. But to buy the NVIDIA stock split. I told you to buy that Amazon, and I told you to buy that Google stock split. I told you, it's like, listen, get your shares, get what you can. I purchased over 100 total shares of Amazon. I had 100 total shares of Google because I had already been in. And with that stock split, it basically multiplied all those shares. And with NVIDIA buying in before the stock split, it multiplied those shares. Because I think the NVIDIA stock split was like 4-1 or 5-1. I don't even remember now. It was probably 4-1 if I'm not mistaken. But bottom line is, some people might ask me, like, how did you know what you know? Now, first of all, I read a lot of stock information. Because the thing about it is, even if you work on Wall Street, you're not going to really learn a lot about trading. Trading is it's a little bit more scientific and it's a little bit more research. But the bottom line is, America is trying to divest from China. America was afraid that China was going to go after Taiwan. Taiwan makes 90% of the semiconductor chips in the world. America has basically decided to put its own investment into its own domestic stock production of chips. So the bottom line is, I've been talking about Micron. There's a couple of other companies, but NVIDIA, Micron, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, and a couple of others. Basically, anybody who's working on semiconductors in general, their stock is going to gradually go up. It doesn't, as long as they have a stable business and as long as they're somewhat profitable, you can bet that their stock is going up. Bottom line, it may not happen this year. It may not happen next year. The bottom line is, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years, you will see, especially with the fact that, and you got to remember, see, these are the things that nobody thinks about. These people are coming after your gas stoves. These people are coming after your gas water boilers. These people are coming after your gas dryers that's next to your washing machine. They're coming after your gas cars. You got to understand something. One thing about gasoline-powered machines is that they really don't need a lot of electronic management. They don't need computers managing them. They're forcing everything into the digital path. Digital shit needs chips. That's the bottom line. Digital cars, for electric cars, Tesla, you need chips for everything in that car. You need chips to manage the seats. You need chips to manage the air conditioning and so forth and so on. I don't have to bother explaining all of it right now because I'm trying to make this quick. I said I was going to make this quick. Your washing machine is going to need twice as many chips when it becomes electric. Your dryer is going to need twice as many chips when it's fully electric. Your stove is going to need twice as many chips when it's fully electric. Understand something. There's already a lot of these semiconductors in everything, and they're forcing it even more on us because I will say this, like with digital technology, they can monitor what you do. They can advertise to you easily. They can monitor your use. Now some people, I hear some people make this ludicrous assumption that, oh yeah, well, they can control you if you drive and everything. First of all, driving is not a right. Driving is a privilege. It's not a right. It's not in the Constitution. It's not a right. It is a privilege. If they want to control your driving, they already can do it, whether you have a gas car or electric car. They can control you one way or another. Think about it like this. You can't drive your car if there's no registration sticker on it. You can't drive your car if there's no inspection sticker on it. You can't drive your car if you don't have insurance. In order for you to get all those things, you have to meet the state and the federal government's requirements. And if you don't, you can't drive. And if you try to fuck with the cops and you try to drive without those things, you're going to end up being the next George Floyd with a knee on your neck. Whether you white, black, Hispanic, gay, whatever, it doesn't even matter. You're going to end up with a knee on your neck. So the bottom line is they don't have to work that hard to control you because driving is not a right. The reality is that they can control gas, they can control gas prices. So whether you have a gas or electric car, they still have full control of you. See, some people want to make a false dichotomy and they want to paint the picture as if, oh yeah, well, if you got an electric car, the government can tell you this. And they can do that shit when you got a gas car. They can do it right now. If they come to you and take your license, you ain't got no license, you can't drive. And if you go out there and try to drive, you're going to get a bullet in the back. And that's how it works. That's how it works. I'm sorry, that's how it works. So all I'm saying is this, because I like diverting. But all I'm saying is this. These chips... I told you a long time ago about betting on oil. Well, now I'm not. You notice I'm not talking about oil right now because the government has already intervened in the oil situation. Oil prices will go up, but for the most part, the mining and the discovery of oil is way down right now. But when I told you to get into oil when it went negative, if you got in, you should have made some money. Now I'm telling you these chips, but I think I don't even have to say it now. I think everybody sees it now. I think they see these chips going up. So really, really quickly, let's just look at the winners today. Now, notice the Dow Jones was down today, just a little bit. It was down, 0.11. So it wasn't even down a full percent. However, look who's up. NVIDIA rose as well. Oh, shit. Look at that. Look at that one day. Look at that. 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 That shit went from, 301 to 379. So when I'm telling you about the money that I made in NVIDIA, it's like that should go as no surprise. Now, that was NVIDIA alone. Microsoft today, now look at this. See, what this is all being driven off of is this AI shit. Like, in fact, I may talk about that in a second. AI made some photos. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But this AI shit, look at what it did to Microsoft today, just today. That was Microsoft, right? Because, I have my own index, GOAT. Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Google, oil stocks, Amazon, AMD, and Tesla, right? So I have got now Apple, I don't know what's going on over here, but this week Apple seemed to be down a little bit, but I'm not worried about Apple because Apple still pays me the dividend. Look at Google right there. This is 1 week. Let's see what happened today. Yeah, it's a little bit down, but the thing about it is Google and Amazon have been reclaiming their losses, and Tesla is still relatively down because they're not delivering the Cybertruck yet and the Roadster and all that. But look at Micron. Look at Micron. Look at 1 day of Micron. It dipped a little bit, and then it went right back up. So it dipped during 10 o'clock, and then it went right back up. I've been telling you, Micron is going to be huge. Look at they have the stories in the Apple server. China's top server makes stop orders of memory modules containing Micron. China is trying to punish Micron because America is trying to punish China. That's the short story. Like, I could give you the long story, but I'm telling you the short story. AMD, look at this. AMD today. Look at that AMD. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I told y'all about AMD when AMD was $50 a share. And now some of y'all listen. Some of y'all got that AMD. Some of you got that Logitech when it was $50 a share. It was a little bit less, but it was give or take $50. Now it's 100. It went up to 120. 120. Look at that. After hours, it went up $121 per share. Now think about that. I want you to think about all these people who are flashing their crypto wallets. Oh, yeah, look at me. I own Ethereum. I got a whole Ethereum. I got 2 Ethereum. Look at me. I got Bitcoin. Look, I'm going to the moon. I got XRP. Did you get an XRP? You better see. If you don't get an XRP, you're going to hate yourself in the morning. You didn't get Yeah. Those things are like trash, and they're not doing anything right now. And meanwhile, we're going to the moon on these chips. Look at this. Bitcoin, 26,403. First of all, anybody who wants to tell me anything about Bitcoin, do not talk to me until Bitcoin is back to 68,000. I don't want to hear shit until Bitcoin's back to 68,000. Because then I'll know that all those people who lost all their money betting on Bitcoin thinking it was going to 100,000, then I'll know they got their money back. Or at least should have got their money back. I don't want to hear shit until Bitcoin is 68,000. I don't want to hear it. Ethereum, I don't want to hear a damn thing until Ethereum's back to $3,500. Because I know people who bought in when Ethereum was $3,500 thinking it was going to 10,000. I don't want to hear nothing until Ethereum's $3,500. So don't tell me nothing. Don't say nothing to me. Don't text me. Don't email me. Don't flash no wallet until Bitcoin is 68,000 and Ethereum's 3,500. I don't want to hear nothing. Who else? XRP. Until XRP gives these people back their $3, I don't want to hear jack. Until Ethereum goes back, where was it? Until Ethereum goes back to, what is it, $3.30? I'll tell you what, I'll be fair. Until it goes back to $3, I don't want to hear nothing. Anything, because, it's funny. There are channels on YouTube that are constantly talking these things up. And and it's funny because every time I watch these channels and I think, could I take a stake in that? It's funny? Like the next week or a month later, it goes down even more. Like I remember looking at XRP at $1 and now it's like 40 cents. I'm like, thank God I didn't put any money into that shit. It was good. XRP was cool when I was around the water cooler at work back in 2018. But once these people lost all that money at that $3 mark, it was like you'd have to be out of your goddamn mind to still be betting on that shit. But whatever, it is what it is. And Dogecoin, let me not forget Dogecoin. Remember when Elon Musk, yeah, we're gonna have Dogecoin, and we're gonna have Dogecoin on Mars, and I'm gonna use like the Boring Company, and we're gonna drill tunnels, and yeah, right, He came on Saturday Night Live. You couldn't even get to $1. Pump that shit for like a minute. People lost a lot of money. Damn shame. And don't get me started. Do not get me started on Bitcoin and Michael Saylor. Oh, well, if you buy Bitcoin, one thing you gotta remember is that when you have Bitcoin, you have an unlimited amount of access to your monies. And if you get on a plane, you wouldn't be allowed to have $100,000 in U.S. cash. But if you had Bitcoin, you'd be able to carry $10 billion in cash on the Bitcoin on the plane. Michael Saylor sounds like a drunk version of Bill Cosby who accidentally got himself poisoned by like putting pills in his own drink. Are you kidding me? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing. Do not talk to me about Bitcoin until it's $68,000 again. Do not talk to me about XRP until it goes back to $3. Do not talk to me about Ether something. Ethereum, do not talk to me until that shit's back to $3,500. So you're going to have a long time of not talking to me. Oh, yeah, we're going to the moon. And when you're on the moon, you don't need US dollars on the moon. You need Bitcoin. Because if you had Bitcoin, you'd be able to have unlimited money on the moon. Michael Saylor and Alex Mashinsky I would like nothing more personally than to see Alex Mashinsky thrown headfirst into a cold cell in like a basement of a dungeon. Like I would like nothing more Like Peter Schiff warned people that guy was running a Ponzi scheme. He was quickly ignored, and then you found out it was a Ponzi scheme, and then Celsius or whatever the shit was collapsed. I would like nothing more than to see him hurled into a wall, a brick wall, in a basement of a dungeon. I would like nothing like a cold cell to just take his whole body and flip him and throw him against the wall. That's what I'd like to see. Sam Bankman-Fried, that same thing too. Fried, fraud, whatever. I'd like to see both. I'd like to see all of these scammers who scam hardworking fools out of their money. I want to just see them like flipped and thrown into walls. That's what I want to see. Like me personally, if you could get that job and I could get that job and they pay me what I make now, like I would take that job and I would do that job till I retire. I would do it gladly. As a prison guard for scamsters and Ponzi scheme operators, let me tell you something. I would love that job. In fact, I probably would never retire. I'd probably be like 90 years old. I'd still be flipping people into walls. But, I can only dream. That's a dream job. Like, if I retired right now, I've told people, it's like, if I could retire right now, I have no aspirations beyond being on a beach and having, like, a wife half my age serving me buko juice. But I will say this. If I needed to work, that would be my dream job. Like, I'd be a prison guard, and I'd be, like, just abusing crypto scammers and Ponzi scam. I'd be just abusing them. Like, just absolute abuse. Constant abuse. But I can only dream. So that it is what it is. But so that's the market. It looks terrible. And it is what it is. So, I tried to tell you. I tried to give you pointers. I tried to give you tips. YouTube did not help me at all. YouTube gave all the prime time to the Bitcoin pumpers. It did not help me at all. Didn't help me one bit at all. And so that video, like the video that I made about AI stocks. Now think about this. I made a video about AI stocks 2 or 3 days before NVIDIA pumped, and I didn't even know it was going to pump. I just knew it was going to pump eventually. Then I made another video as it was about to pump after hours. 400 and something views. That's it. YouTube purposefully crippled. This is the reason why they're losing so much money to TikTok. That's why. It's because TikTok, there is no like true algorithm, like some bullshit algorithm that's totally fucking people over. There's no algorithm. You don't have to worry about posting videos and then getting a limited mark that says you're not going to make no money on them. You don't have to worry about not getting discovery. YouTube itself did not help me at all. And I call people out when I got to call them out. It's just like my Chinese. I've got Chinese. It's like you see all those technology things that I get for free. I get like free monitors. I get free this. I get free that from China. The American companies didn't give me shit. Let's just call it what it is. The American companies didn't give me a goddamn thing. Didn't give me anything. Gave me no help. Gave me no products to review. Didn't offer me anything. They like even if they said, yeah, we'll give you a product. You review it and give it back to us. They could have done that. They didn't even do that. The Chinese companies send me shit. I review them and I keep them. So my thing is, if you're not helping me, I'm calling you out. And that's just what it is. I don't know how many people see this video and I don't give a fuck. But the bottom line is, you don't help me, I'm calling you out. If you help me, I'll praise you. But if you don't help me, I'm calling you out. And that's what it is. So all of this malinvestment, all of this fake guru shit, all this fake guru, these fake ass gurus, I'm calling you out. Where I see it, I'm calling you out. It is what it is. But I just had to say that. I don't know why I had to say that. Maybe it's the couple of drinks that I had a little while ago. But that's the bottom line. If you don't help me, I'm calling you out. That's the bottom line. So the reality is, I tried to give you information. I tried to give you the best advice. Some people listened. Some people never had a chance to listen because they didn't hear the message, thanks to YouTube and its bullshit algorithm. Some people listen. Some people listened to the message and then they ignored it. They bought crypto. Yeah, well, you've lost a lot of money at this point. Good for you. But the bottom line is that it is, that's the market. So I'm going to keep doing exactly what I do. But the problem is they discourage you from making videos where you talk about the possible investment idea. They really do discourage you from doing it by having a bullshit that bullshit algorithm doesn't help. It really discourages you. And that's the reason why, I've made enough videos where I can sit back and relax and I'm still getting my YouTube money every single month. But the reality is they're not helping to build anything. And that's the reason why YouTube and Google stock was down for so long, because of their advertisers. Their advertisers weren't getting enough views or clicks. So they said, yeah, fuck this. We're going to go over to TikTok because your algorithm is woke. And you know what they say, when you go woke, you go broke. So if you're going to punish people for saying words like COVID and words like vaccine and shit, well, then, yeah, we're going to take our money. We're going to go over to TikTok. And they said that. So bottom line is, it is what it is. So that's all I really had to say. I don't really anticipate this video to get many views. So it is what it is. So I'm still waiting for my Cadillac. I visited Cadillac the other day, as you saw in the video. They have the all-wheel drives in production. It's going to be probably a month or two, because basically I thought I would have had that thing by February, but hey, you know what, it is what it is. So I'll probably definitely have it this summer, and if not this summer, it'll be in the fall, but I think I'll have it probably by this summer. And it's such, I really feel, especially under the Biden economy, I feel like things just aren't moving fast enough. I feel like everything's just at a standstill. And, it's like, it's a shitty feeling. It's like I call it stagflation. It feels like everything is stagnant. Everything is stagnant right now. But that's what this is. This is stagflation. You haven't really heard much from Biden. He got nothing to say. The stock market is pumping despite what the Federal Reserve is doing to raise interest rates, which normally curtails investment. But, it is what it is. We are where we are. So, it is what it is. So that's all I had to say. So I'm going to sleep now.